Well, hey, YouTube, petey twofinger here. In a very good mood. Last night, my wife and I went and enjoyed an evening of live music featuring Adrian Belew and his Pop Sided North American tour. He's got a new band featuring the bass player that he's had for the last, 20 years? Anyway, her name is Julie Slick. Wonderful young woman who plays, she's incredibly talented, just a force of nature. My complaint with Julie is that it's humiliating to watch her do her thing. She's that good. She just owns the fretboard. She plays the bass in a bass style, but she also plays it in a form of a lead instrument that accompanies the music very well. The drummer, and she also does effects pedals. She does some really cool stuff with effects. She has solo music that's real intense and mathy, proggy, complicated, wonderful music. Julie comes from a family of music-loving, dare I say, hippies. I've met her, both her father, her mother, and her brother. I don't know if did I meet Robin. No, I've communicated with Robin, her mother. I was a journalist. She's an author. But anyway, Eric, her brother, used to play drums for Adrian. It's a couple of kids that were raised in a music-loving household with a huge collection of vinyl records and amplifiers and a drum kit in the living room. So that's their story. They went to the School of Rock. Adrian Belew was brought in as a guest, and they got the job to be Belew's backup band. She is still with Adrian Belew. Her brother plays drums for Dr. Dog. So Julie is just absolutely incredible and just a joy to watch her do her thing. Got a new drummer who's a Nashville pro session guy named Jordan Perlson, who's played with all kinds of artists and done all kinds of recording. And then there is a backup man, a utility man by the name of Saul Zanana, who's another Nashville veteran, who's a wonderfully talented multi-instrumentalist, vocalist guy. Opens up the evening with a set of his original music, doing a one-man band type of thing. Then everyone else comes out and they join Adrian Belew as fronting, a career-spanning representation of King Crimson, which he fronted and wrote a lot of that music, all the lyrics for sure. And then stuff from his solo career. He's got a David Bowie tribute song that he wrote, and a bunch of material from, well, not a bunch. There's material from all of his stuff. He does Zappa. He does a lot of King Crimson material. There's a nod at David Bowie, and there's material from a band that he was in called The Bears. I haven't missed an Adrian Belew tour since 1989. I've seen all of them. He's my favorite guy. He's my guitar hero, and I admire him as he has a certain way with his art that I really respect. Now, he kind of changed gears back around Y2K. He started making more instrumental music, and he wasn't necessarily writing traditional songs. Well, he's back at it with the songs. He released a new album, which is called Pop Sided, which just doesn't mean pop in the way you would think of a VMA awards type of pop. It's just what to him represents music, popular music, good music. So it's an album of songs which have lyrics beginning, a middle, and end. So he was doing something called Flux, which is much more abbreviated. So he did the second half of the set. Some of the songs were Flux versions. They were reduced, where he didn't go all the way through them, just as a matter of constraint to play more material. I believe it was 28 songs. Half of those were songs he had never performed on stage before. So there were so many surprises. If you are a fan of this guy, or if you've seen him before, I don't want to tell you the set list. I just want to tell you to go. This was, it just bowled me over how great the show was. Like I said, I've been a fan of him, and I'm always going to say that I love the show and how much of an impact he's had on me as a person who loves very solely certain music. I really have a hard time tolerating most music, and then the stuff that I don't like, I just go kind of batty, and I really overdo it with that type of music. That's the type of music fan that I am. And Belew is one of those guys for me. He's up at the top. And this tour was just an absolute don't mess. I was a little bit skeptical on it, but I was real hopeful. I was like, I think this is going to be awesome. And boy, it totally delivered. on higher than any of my expectations could have expected. So definitely the tour, he's touring. It hasn't sold out all over yet, but these tickets are, it's a hot ticket. It's sold out in Chicago and in Evanston. He's playing in Evanston as well. That's sold out. So I want to encourage you to get a ticket. The tickets are real cheap. Get the CD. The only way you can get the CD right now is at the show. They're going to be doing a major label distribution for this, but he's doing a soft release, so it's available at the show. Stick around. You can meet him. You can get him to sign your disc. He's a wonderful human being. Everybody in this band is outstanding, and they whipped it up into a musical frenzy, a thunderous cacophony, like nothing I've ever experienced. It's rapturous. This is going to be one of the best shows you will ever see in your life, guaranteed. Don't miss it. Tickets are cheap. Definitely check out Adrian Belew's Pop Sided North American Tour. He's going to be coming back around. He said he's got 18 more songs going into the studio, recording those, coming back around, but you never know. With a guy like this, every time he makes plans, somebody will call him up and he's in some other band. And then that takes away from his solo career. And me, yeah, I like King Crimson. Some of that music I love, I have to admit it. But personally, I prefer Adrian Belew's solo music for its creative and emotional impact that it's had on my life. And it's really positive, overwhelmingly positive. But it's not all positive. He has a lot of real deep melancholy stuff. His music works on an emotional level that very few artists can channel. He worked with a guy called Rob Fetters in a band called The Bears. He writes like that even more so. Rob's writing is on a very deep emotional level, and it's the only person I could compare that with is like maybe Harry Nilsson. You know, it's like Roger Waters, what he tried to do, but not so campy and corny. You know, just really truly meaningful stuff. So yeah, definitely check this guy out. If you've seen him before, you kind of know what I'm talking about, how good these shows are. This one was off the charts, unbelievably good. So definitely check that out. You know what? I'm going to do a full review of the Pop Sided album. I just haven't had time. We listened to it a little bit last night. Today was a busy day for me, and I'm going to be sitting down with this album and fully absorbing it. So within a few weeks or a month, I'm going to have a review of the Pop Sided album on this channel as well. So thank you for joining me. And let me know if you have ever seen Adrian Belew. If not, get tickets. I'm telling you, you don't want to miss this. You will thank me if you go. And you'll never miss him every time he... Like I said, I saw him in '89 and I've never missed him. So, all right, you guys. Peace.